Okay, great. Thanks for putting up with this and being patient and coming back and all that other fun stuff. All right, so now that we've got to this point, what I want to do is put that mat that we saw at the beginning, all right, or in the example, to go around the edges so we can actually have a little bit of depth and dimension going on here. So I'm at the top of my layer stack here. You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do is put all these guys in a folder. All right, so I'm just going to click on this to select all of these guys. That was a shift click, all right? And then what I'm going to do is just drag all this down to the new folder icon, and they all get put inside here. So I can just call this one C-O-L-L-A-G-E-I-M-A-G, Collage Images, and move on. All right, now what I can do is create a brand new layer here. I'm going to call this one Outer Mat, and since I have my guides up here, all I need to do is come over here and grab the rectangular marquee tool. This is set to normal from the last time we had used it, which I created that inner box there, and I'm just going to go to my beginning 1 inch by 1 inch guides and drag freehand style out to that. All right, now the area that we want to fill with white is exactly the opposite of what I have currently selected. So what I'm going to do is go under select and choose to inverse my selection. Beautiful. Now we know that I want to fill this with white, and we also know that my background is pure white. So all I have to do is hold down the command key and hit the double-sided sized delete key, and I have now filled that with white on the PC. That would be Control Backspace, and if you take a look at the layer right up here, the outer mat layer, you can see that I actually have that mat going around the outside. All right, at this point I need to get rid of my marching ants, so I'm going to do a Command or Control D to deselect. And then I'm going to get rid of my guides because they're really not necessary at this point in the game. I don't want to totally get rid of them, I just want to hide them, so I'm going to do a Command or Control colon to do that. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to add that drop shadow to the image, all right, or at least to the mat, to create the illusion of a bevel cut mat or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go under layer, and I'm going to just go to layer style, and I'm going to go to drop shadow. All right, now inside here you can already see that I have something going on. All right, well, we've got a little bit of depth there and all that kind of stuff, but I want to see a little bit more along this side here. So the values that I'm putting inside here are going to be for a low res image, so you may have to change some of these values for a higher res image. I'm not 100% sure. You are the only one that can actually determine that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around because I want to see if I can get a little bit more shadowy stuff coming up there. And is it in the distance or is it in the size? I don't know. I'm going to say size. Let's see. Yeah, size is one. All right. So I'm going to take my size up to 10. I'm going to leave my distance at 5. I've got a drop shadow coming in here. I'm going to reduce this down to 66%, so it's not quite as strong. The angle is good at the default 120, and everything is fine and dandy. I'm happy with that. I love it. Everything's great. I'm going to do a Command S to save my document at this point in time. Great. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to add some type to this. All right. So since I'm going to add some type and I want it to sit on top of the mat, I might as well just do it at this point and click on in the document with my type tool. And I want to put the text along the bottom here, so as soon as my type tool initializes, we'll be good to go. All right, so I'm going to click here, and I'm going to type in the Ford Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E-G-R-E-T-Z, Golf Classic. Space hyphen space 2009. All right. Now, I think that's a little bit bold, so I'm going to select all of this and change something along here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to change. I'm probably going to change the size of the type. Well, maybe, maybe not. See, that's 24. Now 24 looks good. Maybe I need to have a different font, and I'll choose Helvetica, this one here, whatever. And is there any options? No options. All right, so let's come down and see if there are any other. Oh, I'm going to try, let's see, Helvetica, CY. What's that going to do? Is that going to give me any options in here? No, it doesn't give me many either, does it? All right, plain, bold. All right, good enough, fair enough. All right, so I'm not going to waste any more time. I've got just a generic headline font that doesn't have any serifs or anything going on. All right, the next thing I need to do is I need to center this. All right, and as far as I'm concerned, the easiest way to center this is to align it or center it to the width of the document, and the best way to do that is to have the Move tool as your currently active tool, and then have the type layer as your active layer, one of your active layers. Hold down the Command key on the Mac, Control on PC to select multiple layers that are not continuous in the list by doing that. All right, now that we have two items selected, we have some alignment options available in the Move tool options bar. And I'm going to choose this one, which is Align Horizontal Centers. I click it once, and the center of the text is centered to the width of the document. Beautiful. What I need to do now is possibly shift the text up or down, but I need to leave it in its current position. So in order to do that, all I have to do is click on the type layer itself. That will release me from the background, and then I can just use my down arrow keys to reposition. If you want to apply a drop shadow or some other kind of layer styles to your text, by all means, go right ahead. It's really not all that difficult to do. All right, I'm going to do a Command S to save, and then in the next movie, I'm going to show you how to create a layer style that you can actually save in your styles panel, and then we're going to apply that style to the inset or collaged images. Okay, thank you. We'll see you in the next movie.